Hey, this is Jacob, and in this video, we're going to be doing a review of the Clozemaster platform. So, for those of you that don't know what Clozemaster is, basically, it's an online language learning app that allows you to learn tons and tons of vocabulary words in your target language. They support like a whole bunch of different languages, as you can see here. So, we have Speech and Danish, interlingua, Irish and Esperanto, and so on and so forth. And they have a whole bunch of different pairings as well. Like they'll have like English to like Esperanto or like Spanish to Esperanto, and they'll have like different pairs like that. So there's like a ton of different options as far as being able to practice with this platform. They have an app, as you can see here, for Android as well as iOS. And they got a ton of great reviews. A lot of people really enjoy using it. I'm definitely one of those people as well that use this platform. I've been using it for a little bit over a year right now, and it's been absolutely essential for me when it comes to learning Spanish, French, and Esperanto. So, just wanted to create a quick review video. I did talk about Clozemaster a little bit in my 2024 language learning review video, but I feel this software really deserves its entire video on its own because like it's super powerful, and if you use it similar to the way that I use it, then it's really going to help you out a lot as far as doing your language learning goes. I will say one thing though, before we kind of jump into like the different facets of the platform, is that this platform isn't really good for you if you're just starting out with the language that you're learning. So let's say, for example, you're learning Spanish and you're still at the very beginning. You're still trying to learn like your first couple of hundred words or so. I would not recommend using this platform just yet. I would wait until you're somewhere around the late beginner, early intermediate stage. So if we're using the CEFR language learning framework, you want to be somewhere between like an A2 and a B1 in your target language. Once you're right there in that area, that's when this platform is going to become really helpful for you because at that point, you should know enough of the most common words that you can start filling in the gaps with the words that you don't know. So that's the only thing about it. Definitely would not recommend this for someone who's just starting out. So this is the dashboard. Basically where we're at right now, which shows you what it looks like when you log in. So right now I'm logged into the Spanish to Esperanto. Originally I was doing English to Esperanto, but I had gotten to the point where my Spanish was getting pretty decent, as well as my Esperanto, which was like getting really good. It was getting very strong. So I decided to switch and start doing Spanish to Esperanto, and that's been really helpful for me because it's like I'm learning Spanish and Esperanto at the same time, and I'm able to draw those parallels between Spanish and Esperanto. So that's just a little pro tip there. If you have more than one language that you're trying to learn at the same time, you could try to look for a language pair that leverages on both of the languages that you're learning, so that way you're able to study on both of them simultaneously. So that's pretty cool. The only thing though, when it comes to the whole Spanish to Esperanto, is that they don't have a listening mode for it. So unfortunately, there isn't a listening mode for every single one of the language pairs. They only have it for certain languages, like I think Spanish and French and Portuguese.
And there's a few others as well that they support, but I can't remember them right now. But yeah, I'll have to look into that at some point. But anyways, I'm just gonna give you guys a quick demo on what it looks like. So I'm gonna do something right here for Spanish to Esperanto, and I'll also show you for the Spanish, English to Spanish, excuse me, where you'll be able to check out the listening option, which is really useful. So we're just gonna do 5 sentences. So we're doing text input. So just going to give you guys a quick demo into what this looks like. So let's see. So this is me, Vin. So te voy a matar. So this will be Mortigos. Okay, so I got that right. Let's see. Voy a dormir temprano. Yep, so that's me doing what's frue. So I will sleep. I will sleep early. Yeah, excuse me. I'll sleep early. Let's see. Hmm. I know for the Spanish it says he is not here now. So I'm not quite sure what the Esperanto word is for S's. Okay, so for S's basically means to go away. So okay. This one was pretty easy. So this is basically saying like she became a teacher. Then we just do one more. And then, all right, so this sentence is saying he fulfilled his task. So that's the English and the Esperanto. So after that, you see you got some music that's playing, you know, so that's it. So it's pretty cool. So now I'm going to show you guys how it looks for English to Spanish. So that way you guys can take a look at how the whole listening thing works. So we're just gonna hit play. So you see we have the listening skill set. Just gonna put that to 5. Do the text input. Yeah, they also have a transcribe as well. So basically the way that the transcribe works is that you'll listen to the sentence and you have to type out the entire sentence and get it down perfectly. So definitely not for the faint of heart. I usually do either the multiple choice or the text input. So do that.
Este establo contiene 12 caballerizas.
Let me see if I can figure this out.
Este establo contiene 12 caballerizas.
I cannot figure out that last part. Here we go. So it's saying this. So the way that I do it, as you can see here, I don't have any of the translation showing, and I try to keep that hidden so that way I can stay immersed in the language and I can just focus on the target language without having the English distract me or anything like that. So after I go and I solve the sentence, I'll try to figure out like exactly what the sentence is trying to say, and then I'll use this here, which is a toggle translation, which will show me the English translation and I can see if it's right or how accurate I am. So this says here, this stable contains 12. Oh, this barn contains 12 stables. So now I'm going to check it. Oh, this stable contains 12 stalls. Okay, you know, that was close.
El budismo tuvo sus comienzos en la India.
Okay. There we go. So it's saying Buddhism had its beginning in India. Oh, beginnings in India. Okay.
Un cuarteto de cuerda está ensayando en la habitación de al lado. Un cuarteto de cuerda está ensayando en la habitación de al lado. Un cuarteto de cuerda está ensayando en la habitación de al lado.
Oh, cuarteto. Okay. So a quartet or quarter rope is something in the side room. A single quartet is rehearsing in the next room. Okay.
Su letra es incomprensible.
His handwriting is illegible? Oh, incomprehensible. Okay.
Pareces inseguro.
You seem unsure? No, yeah, I want to say you seem unsure. Oh, you look unsure. Okay. Boom. And that's that, you know, so yeah, so you can do like either 5 sentences. The way that I like to do it is I usually like to go infinite, and then I'll set a timer for 10 minutes and I will try to do as many sentences as I can during those 10 minutes. So how I did it just now is basically how I go about it. Usually is that I have the translations hidden. I'll press start. I'll listen to the sentence. I'll try to see if I can figure out through the text input. And if I'm struggling with the text input, then I'll go to the multiple choice, and then I'll just pick the right one out of the multiple choice. Then after I finish the multiple choice, I'll try to puzzle out the sentence to figure out exactly what the sentence is trying to say. Then I'll check the translation to see if I'm right or not, and then I move on, and I just keep doing this. And I think by doing this that way, like, you really help to really process the language in a very active way, as opposed to just being passive about it. So it is pretty tiring, which is why I only do 10 minutes per day. And to be clear, I do 10 minutes per day per language. So in actuality, I'm doing 30 minutes per day. I do 15 minutes per day on Sunday because I try to consider Sunday more like as a relaxing day where I can just kind of chill and stuff. But 15, it's usually like I'm 30 minutes per day. So it can be quite intense. So over here, like I have the pro plan as well. So I have a couple extra bells and whistles compared to what someone in the free plan would have. So it shows this shows my progress throughout the week. The amount of sentences that I've done that are new, as well as some sentences that I reviewed. It does also have a bit of a space repetition system going on. So you can have it set up. You could use like you can have actually, yeah, you can set it up on your own where you can have like it show like after 1 day, then like 5 days, and then 30 days. So there's a whole lot of like science into space repetition. If you're familiar with the application Anki, then that's basically like how that works as far as the space repetition goes. As you see here, I have like a bunch of reviews, like over 8,000. I personally don't stress too much when it comes to the reviews and whatnot. Like as far as like making sure I review things on a steady basis, that's basically what I use Anki for. Like Anki, they really have their whole space repetition system like down to a science, and that's where I really focus on making sure that I'm reviewing words like on a timely basis. But as far as like when I use Clozemaster, I use this primarily for just exposing myself to the language and just consuming as many natural sentences as possible, as well as going through that process of figuring out what each of the sentence means, and checking to make sure that I have a correct understanding of that sentence. So I don't worry too much about the review part. Like as far as review goes, like I'll get to them when I get to them. So that'll be my thing. Like you don't have to stress too much about the reviews. I mean, if you want to clear out the reviews every time you use Clozemaster, by all means, but I personally wouldn't worry about that too much. So as you can see here, they do have a couple of gamification elements in Clozemaster. So they have here a leaderboard. So right now for the English to Spanish, I am ranked 507th, which I believe is for the week, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it's for the week. So you see there's some people here where they put up some pretty serious numbers. So like the whole Quebec, the leaderboard stuff is cool. Like I wouldn't worry about that too much. Just kind of make things a little bit more interesting. You can see what other people are doing. Maybe it can give you a little bit of a motivation to kind of like push yourself and just knock out more sentences. But it's not overly critical to your language learning success. It's just a way to make things kind of fun and just to keep things interesting. They do here have a daily goal as well. So I personally keep the daily goal set really low to just 10 points per day, because the way that I see it is that I want to make it as easy for me as possible to show up and to do a little bit of work. Because I mean, if you've been learning language for any amount of time, then you already know that language learning is a very, very long journey, and you need to have a certain amount of patience when it comes to this. So you need to make it easy. Like sometimes you're gonna have days where you're just not gonna be able to put in a lot of investment into your language learning. So if you could just put in something small, like just like say 10 points, which is I think just like one sentence or like two sentences or something like that, you just do that. Like at least you move the needle a little bit. Like obviously you don't want to just only do 10 points per day. That's more like a worst case scenario thing, but you want to make it easy for yourself to show up every day. So that's the whole reason why I have 10 points as far as daily goal goes. So I'll show you guys on my profile here. Oh, that is not my profile. There we go. So here's my profile. I have a 393 day streak currently, and that is thanks to my English English to Spanish here, which I've worked in. Like I've been working on this the longest. I was working on the English French. This actually should have been longer, but I had to stop working on this because I started doing the whole Spanish to French thing, and I realized as I was working on it that my Spanish to French wasn't that strong enough yet for me to be doing this. So I decided to stop doing this, and I decided to go back here to the English to French. But at a certain point, like once my Spanish and my French gets particularly strong, or a lot stronger than it is right now, I would like to go back to this just so I can really like make those direct connections between Spanish and French, like similar to what I'm doing right here with the Spanish to Esperanto. I think I'm having an easier time with the whole Spanish to Esperanto because my Esperanto is pretty strong right now. So even if I'm not able to understand certain words in the Spanish, the Esperanto can like help to bail me out a bit. And I also have a pop-up dictionary as well, which helps. So I have this thing here. I may have to make a separate video about the whole pop-up dictionary. I will say this though, that if you're in language learning, then you definitely want to have yourself a pop-up dictionary at some point. So yeah, so this is my level here. Level, like I said, doesn't really mean anything. The points doesn't have like any like inherent meaning. It's just a way to just kind of make things fun and interesting and stuff. These amount of sentences I played, amount that I mastered, so yeah, this is my recent activity, so you can see here the level yourself as you're leveling up. I will say though, like as you get like into like the really high levels, like leveling up does become a lot less frequent. So you know I'm going at a pretty good pace, so you can see like every couple of days or so, like I'll level up on one of the languages that I'm working on. So just another little thing right there, just just to help give you like a little bit of extra motivation and extra push and stuff. So I feel like every little bit helps. So yeah, so overall, I would definitely, highly recommend this tool. I guess one of the bigger drawbacks regarding Clozemaster is that sometimes the translations could be a little weird and stuff. And I guess to sort of offset that, they do have a form. So if you see a sentence and you see something looks a little weird with it, you can comment on that sentence. So as you can see here, these are all the different comments or different posts that people make about different sentences. So if you remember Duolingo from back in the day when you were able to comment on sentences and had to form, this is more or less the same idea. Like you'll see a sentence and people will just comment on that sentence and say like, hey, this isn't right, or I think it should be this way, what have you. I don't really know if there's really a ton of benefit behind doing that. Like you might get into a little conversation, or there might be a little back and forth, somebody else might comment, or there could be that going, but it doesn't really look like, in my opinion, that it really makes a huge difference to the experience. But that it is there and stuff, and sometimes discussing and interacting with other people, that could be pretty valuable at times. So I wouldn't knock it out entirely, but it's something to consider. So yeah, so I think that is about it as far as Clozemaster. It's definitely a great tool. What's really cool about this is that they do have a free plan. So if you join Clozemaster, you don't have to worry about paying anything up front. You are a bit limited, of course, as far as like what is it that you can do with the platform, but at the very least you can start playing around with the platform, and just start seeing for yourself, like, is this a platform you're going to start using for the long term? And if you decide to, whether or not you decide to like upgrade to like one of the paid plans. So, just in full disclosure, like I am an affiliate of Clozemaster. So if you do purchase on one of my links, I do get like a small kickback. You don't have to purchase through my link, but if you do, I would definitely, appreciate that a lot. So you should see a link down below in the description of this video where you can just click on it and you'll be able to sign up for a free account. But this is a tool that I highly believe in. As you can see here, like I use this tool basically every day. I have almost a 400-day streak, so I definitely believe in this tool and what it can do. Of course, there isn't a single language learning tool that's going to make you fluent, and of course, Clozemaster is no exception. But if you decide to include it among a series of other tools that you're using, things like Anki and Duolingo, and like watching videos and listening to podcasts, things like that. If you include it among all those other things, then this can really and absolutely help you out. So I highly recommend using this tool, making the most of it. Like I said, you can try it out for free, just to test it out, to see if this is something that will work for you for the long term. So there's really nothing for you to lose here. So with that said, I hope you got a ton of value out of this video. And also, I have a free PDF as well of the top 10 language learning mistakes. There is a link to that down below in the description, and it's a free PDF. All you have to do is enter your email and I'll send it right over to you to your inbox. So yeah, so if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please feel free to leave them down below. I'll try to respond and answer to them when I can. This is Jacob Laguerre. I'm an aspiring polyglot, and I will catch you on the next video. Peace.